challenge, and some ways you can dial things back if we need to. So we're going to start with that warm up. First up is 10 glute bridges. So for the glute bridges, we're going to come down to the ground. We're going to plant the heels just underneath the knees. Should be able to just about reach those fingertips. Head, neck, and shoulders. We're going to drive the hips up and bring it back down nice and slow. We do 10 like this, and then we'll move on. Just getting those glutes, hamstrings, back of the legs all warmed up. There we go. There's Tiffany. Good morning. All right, so just working again on those 10 glute bridges. Driving the hips, bringing it slow. When you finish your 10 glute bridges, we're going to stay down on the ground. We flip over and do cat-cow. So hands go underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We're in this tabletop position. This is flat and neutral. Now we're going to round the back, tuck the tailbone, separate the shoulder blades, feel a nice stretch there. And then we press the chest through the shoulders, look up, lift the tailbone, arch the back. So you feel a stretch in your core, just getting that spine warmed up. That's one rep. You've got 5 of these. This is 3 for me, working at your own pace. And 5. Then we're going to bring it down to the ground, forearm on the ground. Knees and hips stay in the same spot where they just were. We're going to take one hand behind the ear. Elbow goes up to the ceiling. We're rotating through the upper spine, and then we're going to bring that elbow down to the forearm. That's one rep. We've got 8 on each side. So you stick with all 8 on the one side, and then when you're finished, we'll switch to the other side and do 8 on the other side. Again, working this slow, especially early in the morning, right? Things are not quite awake yet. Maybe a little bit stiff. And then we go to the other side. When we finish those, we're going to bring it back to standing. No, we're doing bird dogs. I lied to you. Don't go back to standing. I forgot bird dogs. How could I forget those? We're back down, hands and knees again. Same tabletop position we started. We're going to extend one arm long and one leg, keeping the heel in line with the hip. And then we bring it back down. Then we go to the other side. Opposite arm, opposite leg extends long. Nice flat back, trying not to let that lower back arch. We're going to do 20 of these or 10 each side. Good, looking good. Nice job, Laura. Hi, Terry. All right, so bird dogs, take your time on. When we're ready, now we can come back to standing. We're going to go for our arm circles. We've got 10 arm circles forward, nice and big, opening up the shoulder joint, getting the chest stretched a little bit. We're going to go 10 forward and 10 backward. All right, and then switch directions when you're ready. Backwards feels a little more intense to me, opening up the chest. Good, and the next one's called toe touch squat and reach. We're going to take our feet a little wider than the hips, a little bit wider than a normal squat position. We hinge forward, we're reaching for those toes, go as far as you can. Then we're going to squat down, bringing that tailbone towards the ground. You reach up with one hand and then the other, and then drive the heels in to stand up nice and tall, or you do 5 of those. So I'm really tight and stiff right now. Can't get down very far, but as I work through each one of these reps, it gets a little bit better, right? Everything gets a little bit looser. I can go a little bit deeper into that squat. Start activating your core to help keep your back nice and flat through this one. We got 5 of these. I have 1 more to do. Good. Nice, Teresa, that looks really good. All right, we're gonna go for our gate openers when you're ready. We're doing 20 total, 10 each side. We bring the knee up, take the knee out to the side, and then bring it back down. Then we go other side. You can do all your reps on one side if you would prefer, and then switch and do 10 on the other side, or we just count out. Okay, getting the hip joint warmed up and ready to rock and roll. So today's strength day, we've got pairs of exercises. We're gonna do each pair of exercise 3 times. First up, we've got hinges and overhead pressing. So of course, I've got options for you on all of those exercises to make sure we're working at the level that feels best for you, and that's gonna get you a safe workout. So when you're finished with those, I'll get you started. We've got a hinge, and so we're gonna do flat back, goblet style, or just a deadlift. So the deal with the hinge, feet about hip distance. We're going to try to push our hips backwards and keep that back super flat. So this is just your basic flat back, soft bend in the knees. We drive the heels in, squeeze the glutes, really focusing on that contraction. We go down, flat back, and then lift up. Next option is going to be to grab 1 dumbbell for a goblet style hold. Right here underneath the chin, we're going to hold it, kind of clamp it in there. Again, super flat back, feet hip distance. We hinge just like we did with the flat back, and then we're going to squeeze the glutes and hamstrings to stand back up. And then the last option is going to be to grab 2 dumbbells for a deadlift. We're going to hold the weights with the palms facing the thighs. Shoulders are open. We're going to slide the weights down the thighs as you keep the back super flat. Again, push the hips backwards, and then pull the hips back underneath. So we're going to go for 10 reps there. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and grab your weights and get started. Ah, nice job, Lucinda. That looks really good. Good. So we can stop our deadlift right about mid-shin or just below the knee, depending on your flexibility in the hamstrings. We don't have to go any lower than that. Usually when you go lower than that, you will round out your lower back, and we're not looking for that. Okay, we've got 10 like that, so you're counting them out for yourself. Teresa, you will learn that you never can rely on me for counting things. Good, nice job, Tiffany. That looks really strong. Good. All right, so some of you are finishing those up, and that's okay. We're going to move on to our overhead press. So the first option for an overhead press would be a wall slide. I do not have a great flat wall anywhere around me to be able to show you this, but I want you to pretend like I'm sitting on the ground, tailbone to the wall. I'm going to open up into the big goalpost arms here. Big goalpost arms, and then I'm going to slide my hands up the wall and down the wall. Up and down is going to be 1 rep, and I'm making sure my wrist and my elbow stay in contact with the wall at all times. If at any point I feel like I can't keep that touch on the wall, then I'm going to go ahead and reduce my range of motion. I'm not going to go past the point where my elbows come away or my wrists come away. Second option, tall kneeling overhead press. We bring it down to the ground with our dumbbells. This will be 10 each side or 20 total. So for the tall kneel, you're going to be on either or on both knees. We tuck the toes under behind. We're going to grab the weights, load them up at 45, and we're going to press. This is 1, and then I got 1 on the other side. So I'm going 10 total, or 10 each side, sorry, or 20 total. All right, so pick your option here. You can go ahead and load those dumbbells up. Nice strong core as you're lifting those weights up overhead, and we press. Exhale as you press up, inhale down. And again, elbows are at about a 45-degree angle, so they're not way out wide. They're also not right in front of you close. We're going to keep them right there in the middle. No rocking back, no leaning, no arching that back. Looks good. Nice job, Terry. Laura, you got it. So again, 10 each arm, 20 total. Keeping that spine nice, straight, strong, and long. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Awesome. When you finish those, this is your opportunity to kind of shake it out, take a break, grab a quick drink, and then we go back to the top. So we're going to go back to the deadlifts, and then we're going to repeat that overhead press. All right, picking up those weights safely. Soft bend in the knees. Again, palms face the thighs for the deadlift. We slide the hips backward. Weights stay close to the body. And then we squeeze the glutes and hamstrings as hard as we can to come back to that start position. Don't let those weights drag you forward. Shoulders are engaged here. Keep that chin slightly tucked. I got 2 more. Good. Nice strong work. When you're ready, we go back to the overhead press or the wall slide. Here we got 10 reps. Fold that mat over if you need a little extra cushion on the knees. Curl the toes under. Load the weights up here at 45. We lift and lower. Good. So Teresa, if you're taking the wall slide option, I would recommend using no weight on it and do both arms at the same time. Just get the feel of those shoulder blades drawing down your back. And you can kind of create your own resistance as you slide down. Don't let gravity do the work. Use those muscles. Strong core as it gets heavy. Come on. Nice job, Laura. Lucinda, you got it. Excellent work. Yeah, that wall slide can be tough too, because that shoulder joint, right, keeping the elbow and wrist in contact at all times is challenging as you slide it up and down. Good, good, good. Everybody's looking good. Nice job. We're doing it one more time. Who's excited? No, Terry, that doesn't look excited. All right, so when you're ready, we're going back to work on the hinge. Remember your options. We've got that flat back hinge. Squeezing the glutes, no weight. Really just getting that movement pattern established in your body. Keeping that back super flat. Or we've got 1 goblet style dumbbell. Or we've got 2 dumbbells in hands. Y'all are looking really good. Awesome. All right, so when you're ready, go back to the overhead pressing. Good, and then just looking for that 45-degree angle. Good, that's awesome. Nice job, Teresa. This is the last time you've got to do these. Keep that core really strong. Squeeze the glutes in that tall kneel position. Good job. Once you finish your 10, that's your opportunity to take a little break. And we'll move on. We've got a new pairing of exercises. So everybody's favorites coming next, split squats. Yeah. While you all are finishing up and resting, I'm going to show you what the 3 options look like. We're also going to do a 1-arm chest press, and that's going to be 10 each side. So first up to the split squats, option number 1 is a single leg bridge. So we'll bring it down to the ground. If the split squat doesn't work for you at all, and some people's knee joints just, they don't like them. So we do something else. We're going to plant one heel on the ground. We're going to marry the knees together. Foot points towards where wall and ceiling meet. And we're going to drive up and bring it down slow. All that work's happening on the planted leg glute as you lift and lower. That would be 10. Then I would switch sides and do 10 on the other side. Okay, that's option number 1. Option number 2. All right, so if you're thinking like red, yellow, green, that's going to be red, yellow. We go body weight. Feet are hip distance. We're going to step back into that lunge. Hopefully you can see my feet. We're going to step back into that lunge. We drop the knee down about 1 inch away from the floor. Front knee is stacked over the ankle. Back knee is directly under that hip. And we lift and lower there. Then we would switch and do 10. Last option is going to be to grab that dumbbell, goblet style, holding it here. Again, feet about hip distance, step back, and we drop down and lift up. All right, so we're going to do 10 on each leg. Pick your option, the one that's going to be best for your body today. And whenever you're ready, let's get started. So we're looking for a vertical shin, or as close to vertical as you can get it. A little bit of movement forward's not a big deal, but we want to make sure we can still see the big toe on the lunge. Squeeze that glute. Good. You got it. Moving like a carousel horse. All the weight's in the heel. Make sure that heel is like screwing down into the ground. When you finish 10 on one side, let's go to the other side. Heel, heel, heel. Think heel, heel, heel. Nice strong core, so pulling that belly button in towards your spine. And breathe. You can hear me heavy breathing. Good. Okay, next up, 1-arm chest press. We're going to do 10 each side. It is what it sounds like, so we're going to bring it down to the mat. Choose a weight if you have the opportunity to do that. That's going to get you to that really fatigued point by 10 reps. You sometimes can surprise yourself how heavy you can go on these. Feet are bent so the small back stays pressed down. We're going to load that weight up. I want you to make an imaginary triangle. So the weight is one side of the triangle. Your head's the top of the triangle. And then you have another imaginary weight over here on the other side. All right, we're going to lower down, 45-degree bend, and then press that weight straight back up. All 10 reps on one side, switch the hand, and then go to the other side. Whenever you're ready, you can lay down and just go ahead and get started. Good, finish 10 on one side, nice and controlled. We'll switch the weight to the other side. Again, 45-degree angle off the body, lower down, and press up. So right we're just working a basic even count, like 2 counts down, 1, 2, 2 counts up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if you're sitting here working and you're like, dang, I'm working with a 10, it doesn't quite feel heavy enough, but I know my next weight up is going to be too heavy, you can always slow it down. On the way down is where you're going to get the most benefit from it. So go down slow, 1, 2, 3, pause at the bottom and push up on a 1 count. So you're still working for about 4 seconds on each rep. But by slowing it down in that eccentric portion of the motion, you're going to get a little more out of it. All right, 10 and 10. We'll bring it back to standing and go for the split squats again. Remember your option on the split squat down here is going to be that hip bridge, single leg, lifting and lowering, and really getting that good glute contraction. Otherwise, we got that dumbbell or we're going that body weight. Whenever you're ready, you can get started. We got 10 and 10 again. Can you feel yourself getting stronger every single rep, right? Especially the hard ones. Remember that those are the ones that make you the strongest. Switch sides, go to the other side. Checking to make sure that back knee is going right underneath the hip. We don't have that step back a little too far. Sometimes that's a pretty common thing that will throw your balance off. The other thing to watch for is that you're not standing on a tightrope. We want the feet as wide as the hips. All right, when you're finished with those, we're going back to that single arm chest press. We come down to the mat. Knees are bent, back is flat. We're going to load it up here. You're going about a 45-degree angle off your body. We lower down until the elbow's about 1 inch away from the floor, and then we press it back up slow. Good, 10 each side whenever you're ready. Think knuckles towards the ceiling so that the wrist stays nice and straight. And then you're using your core to kind of fight the imbalance. Don't roll over towards that weight. Try not to roll over towards the non-weighted side as you press it up. Finish 10 on one side and then switch that weight, go to the other side. So be actively pulling your core down towards the floor. That'll help you feel more stable. Could help you go heavier on this one. So I want you to ask yourself, when you get to rep 10, are you feeling it? I could probably go up myself. Ugh. Again, if you don't have that option available to you, you can always slow it down a little bit, especially on that way down. Okay. Last round right here. Hip bridge, single leg hip bridge, body weight split squat, or goblet style split squat. Okay, so right back to that first exercise, doing it again, 10 reps on each, and then we move on. Step back, drop that knee down, drive into that front heel. No momentum here, everything is just those muscles really working for you. Good. Focused and determined. We got 10 on the other side. Awesome. Looking really good. Keep driving through that heel. Where you got it. Nice. All right, one more time on that single arm chest press. So when you're ready, you grab your weight. If you've started with the same arm every time, maybe think about starting with the opposite arm, just for fun. All right, 10. Knock them out. Here we go. Strong core. Pull that belly down. And 10 for me. Got the other side to do. Switch that weight safely. If you finish these, you get a chance to rest. Good. All right, so grab a drink. We've got 2 new exercises for you. While you're resting, I will show you what they look like. The next round, we will need our mini band. So if you have that, great. If you don't have one, that's okay too. All right, I'm gonna get my band. Give your band a quick little look, make sure it's not gonna tear or snap on you. First up is our row. So 3 options for rowing. We're gonna be down on the ground. And I can show a row option that's not on the ground. I will do that as well, just in case kneeling is bothersome. So first up, we're here. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're gonna keep the back toes curled. We draw the weight into the rib cage. Elbow stays really tight to the body. Back is super flat. We're gonna alternate here. So on any of these, you can put a hand flat on the ground, and then you would just switch, put the hand back on the weight, and flat on the ground. So if that bothers your wrist, you can do that. Okay, so that's option number 1. Number 2, we add the bird dog. So we'll lift the opposite leg, opposite arm as we row up, bring it back down, go to the other side. And then the last option is going to be up on the toes in the full plank. We're here in that nice plank position. We row it up, squeeze, bring it down. Hips stay as steady and level as you can keep them as you row, and then we'll lower it down. One more little option. So again, if kneeling is bothersome, we can take this to a split stance, take support on that front back leg, row it up, and bring it down. All right, this one is a little bit, gets your lower back a little more. So be mindful of that, just kind of a trade-off, right? Whether you're kneeling versus in that split stance. All right, grab your weight whenever you're ready. We got 10 and 10. Good, that was good, Teresa, nice job. Tiffany, good, you got it. Terry looking strong. Oh, Laura's going for that plank row. Get it. Nice job, Lucinda. Shoulders stay nice and square. So we're not going to rotate through the upper body. The only thing that's moving here is a pull from your shoulder blade. Everybody looks really good. I'm going to give everybody a chance to finish those up. We're going to use our mini band next. We're doing a squat to a leg lift. So I always say to sit down to put this on. We're going to put it about 2 to 3 inches below the knee. I always say sit down to take it off too, and then I never do it myself. So yeah. Okay. If you don't have a band, we just do it without. So that works too. But we're going to do 12 on each side. Feet are hip distance just like they would be for a regular squat. We're going to squat down as low as you can go, and then we're going to lift. So we go up and out to the side. And we're going to bring it back down, and then we'll go to the other side. Lift and lower. Keys on this one is to not lean, right? It doesn't matter how high that leg goes if you're leaning, and don't bend at the waist. Everything is long and strong, just a small little lift from the side of your glute. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead, you got that band on. We're going to drop down into that spot, and then we lift. 12 each side. And so if you don't have a band, that's all right. You can still do this without it. And just like I was talking about before, don't let the band do the thing that brings your leg back down. Control that down so that you're getting the most out of every single movement. Good, everyone's doing a really good job keeping their torso nice and upright and straight, not leaning into it, only lifting as far as you can. Keeping those feet hip distance. We're not going to accidentally end up in a spot where our feet are super close together. We want to keep it wide. Okay, super strong. I have no idea how many I've done. Okay, you guys are starting to finish up. Looks like we're close. 12 each side. Nice. All right, so there's your superset. Rowing first, and then that banded squat. All right, so pick your best option. And so if we're standing on the row, let's get that split squat going, or that split stance going. Opposite leg is forward, so I have the weight in my right hand. I've got my left leg forward. That gives me a nice stable base of support to row up, keep the shoulders square, and really focus on that shoulder blade. Good job. Nice. So when you finish 10 and 10, we'll get that band back on. There's nothing more gross than like a slimy mini band when you know it's your sweat that's making it slimy. So put it on, again, about 3 inches below the knee. We don't want it rolling up onto the knee joint. So make sure it's far enough away, it's time to do that. Feet hip distance. Here we go, we're gonna squat down, boom, and then lift up. Looking good. Keep those feet hip distance. That tension's always going to be there. All right, getting close on this one. I think I'm at 20, I think. 24 is the magic number, 12 each side. Should be feeling a little burning. That's good, right? Oh. Pauses for hugs are okay. Good. We're gonna do one more round like that, and then we've got our final superset to go. Getting super close here. Let's knock these out. So first up is your row. All right, picking that best option. So remember you're free. You've got hands and knees here, or we add that bird dog, or we go up into the high plank row. Again, non-standing or non-knees option. You got that split stance going on. Whenever you're ready, 10 each side. Super strong here to finish this one out. Heads in line with the rest of your body. Whew. Good job. Band back on. Whenever you're ready, you can get started. 24 total, 12 each side. Last time you gotta do it. You wanna get real crazy, you can count backwards. That might hurt my brain too much today. Okay, keep that chest up high. Butt goes low. Nice, everybody's looking super strong. Squeeze those glutes, especially up at the top, right? Come fully out of your squat. Give that squeeze. Tuck the core in tight, and then get ready to lift. Good. Almost there. Nice. Ah! Good job. All right, so our final superset, we got 2 exercises. We're gonna do a plank and a band chop with a knee lift. So our plank is 25 seconds. Some options for you on this one. We'll bring it down to the ground. I think my screen is still tilted. Okay. Forearm plank, option number 1. This would be green, kind of middle of the road, or maybe yellow. Yeah, yellow, okay. Let's lay down on our stomachs. Put your elbows right underneath your shoulders. We're gonna lift up into it. Contract the core, shorten that distance rib to hip, squeeze your glutes, everything's nice and tight. If you need to, you drop the knees down. Same exact positioning, hips are forward, eyes are right about hand level, elbows underneath the shoulders. If you wanna add a little challenge, you're here, and we reach out. Try to keep the hips steady and level as we can, and we're going 25 seconds. Let me grab my stopwatch while you guys get into position. All right, so here we go. 25-second plank on your mark, get set, and go. Good, so choose the option that's working best for you today, right? You want that challenge, but we want to stay safe. We got about 10 seconds left. Zip up those thighs, squeeze the glutes. Final 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. All right, so back to your feet for the next exercise. This is going to be 10 each side. It is a band chop with a knee lift. You could also use a towel if you wanted to. But we're going to grab the band and we're going to try to rip it apart. Not really, but you're holding onto it like this. We're going to keep the shoulders square, hips square, core really strong. We're going to lift it up to the side and we're going to chop it down as we lift. So we stay on the one side and do all 10 reps. And then we'll switch, go up to the other side, 10 reps. The key is no twisting, right? We do not want to twist through the torso on this. All right, so when you're ready, let's go ahead and grab it. We're going to go one side, 10, up and down. Put outward tension on the band like you're ripping it. Shoulders away from the ears even as you raise up. And the key is no twisting, right? Everything is nice and strong. When you finish 10 on one side, give it a little shake out. And we go to 10 on the other side. Right, because it would be easy to twist and really rotate on this one. We do not want that rotation. This is anti-rotation. Hopefully you can feel your core contracting as you bring that knee up. Exhale all that air. Good. When you finish 10, we're going to go back to our plank. All right, elbows under the shoulders. Remember your options. We got the knees down, we got the knees up, or we got that reach out. 25 seconds. Let's get ready for it. 3, 2, and 1. Plank time. Squeeze your glutes, push back into the balls of your feet. Shorten that distance rib to hip, super flat lower back. We're not letting our butt go up in the air. We're not letting our hips sag down towards the ground. Everything's super level. We got 5 seconds. 3 left. Come on, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, come back to your feet. Band in hand. Reaching it up to one side. Let's get ready for it. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Chop across the body. Pull the knee up. Contract the core. Feel the ribs getting closer to the hips every time you lift. Finish 10 on one side. Go to the other side. Tiffany, I think your child should lead us through some cardio after this. Bonus. Good, finish that 10. We've got one more plank to do. Let's bring it back down to the ground. I swear sometimes part of the workout is just getting up and down off the ground, isn't it? All right. Elbows under those shoulders. Let's work. 3, 2, 1. Plank time. Good. Flatten everything out. Reaching if you want. Shoulders away from the ears. Eyes just out in front of those. Well, right at the hands, really. You got 5 seconds. Squeeze your glutes. 3, 2, 1. Done. One more exercise. Here we go. All right, grab that band. Hold it up and get ready. We're we're going across and down. But torso stays straight, hips stay straight, shoulders squared off. Good. Other side when you're ready. Almost there. Excellent. That was awesome. Way to get up and get it done. I love the early morning workout. Not letting anything get in your way. All right, so we're going to stretch it out, seated or standing. Either way, we're going to stretch the upper back. So we can go goal or big basketball hoop here, interlacing the fingers, or you can crisscross your palms. Either one's fine. We're going to tuck the chin, feeling a stretch across the tops of those shoulders. Good. From here, let's switch that. So interlace behind and press the knuckles down. You guys did the crossbody curls, didn't you? On Monday, you do those? My biceps are so sore especially when I do this stretch. It's like, oh, hello, biceps. Good. When you're ready, you can let that one go. We're going to take one arm across the body, hug a little above or just below that elbow joint. Drop your shoulder away from your ear. Nice stretch back there. Worked that with those rows. As always, feedback welcome. So, if you were working through the workout and you're like, I don't quite understand this thing or that thing, feel free to, you can shoot Melanie an email. She can forward it on. You can send it to me, Megan@fitnessevolutionstudio.com. And we definitely want these workouts to work for you. So if something's not working or, you can't see, I know it gets a little dark sometimes on my screen when I get down to the floor. So let me know. All right, what's next? We're going to go flat back. Hinge here for me, like you're doing that deadlift. Keep your back super flat. Go about mid-shin. From here, push your hips back as far as they'll go. Get as much space between your tailbone and your head as you can. Good, let's let that one go. Bring it down to the ground. We're going figure four. Cross your right leg over your left. Grab that left hamstring. Using a little bit of leverage from that right elbow into the right knee. You're stretching the outer hip. This should feel pretty good after the squat to leg lift. And when you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Right over left, grab that, or left over right, grab that right hamstring. When you're ready, come on up out of that one. I'm going to extend my right leg long, take my left and plant it just outside that right knee. Hooking my arm around, I'm going to lean into my bent leg. Sit up tall and rotate to look over that shoulder. And when you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Sit up tall, rotate, rotate. And let that go. You are done, Good job. Gold stars for getting up, getting it done, showing up for yourself. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop recording. and say goodbye.